Self-improvement and motivation for success. Chapter 10. Overcome obstacles created by your self-limiting beliefs. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. Michael Jordan. Life is definitely difficult that it seems to be. We tend to face problems and hurdles at every phase of our life. Yet, we know that we have to look ahead and pace up. The hurdles can be in the form of family conflicts, financial problems, health-related issues, or problems related to adjustment in social life. All of these are actually related to the self-limiting beliefs that stop us from moving ahead. The basis of this issue is that the smallest perception can create a belief which gradually grows larger. A lot of times, we tend to become unconscious and tend to direct all the actions in accordance with these self-formed beliefs. These subconscious acts tend to slowly become a part of our character and result in a huge impact on our personality. When we talk about such beliefs, these can be of various types. There are many beliefs which tend to have a positive impact on our personality and lifestyle. However, in some cases, these beliefs can be negative, which when reinforced on our personality, tend to create a huge impact and makes us weak. When facing such obstacles in life, one has to always deal with perseverance and courage. The stronger we face these obstacles, the lesser they'll become. There are also other ways to deal with these obstacles, such as the following. 1. Positive thinking. This is the first step towards clearing your obstacles. The very thought of quitting a task would never ever let you succeed at all. That is why, a self-improvement and motivation for success. Positive frame of mind is needed at all the times in order to find a solution to the problems and obstacles you face. Positive thinking not only lets you have a clear thinking, but also makes you focus on what you want to achieve. 2. Relax your mind. Tension and stress would never let you succeed in life. Being tension-free would make you focus so that maximum obstacles are eliminated. 3. Perseverance and persistence. The problem would not solve on its own. But you need to wait for the results to surface. This patience and endurance is an experience in itself, which, through the test of time, would make you have a whole new insight about the notion of the problem. 4. Find new opportunities. Dynamism is the key to success. So don't wait for opportunities to show up. Rather, take charge and find new challenges and opportunities in your daily routine work. It would not only make you creative, but would give you lots of determination and strength. 5. Inspiration. The element of inspiration is the wish or dream that makes you work harder and overcome obstacles. Inspiration gives the spark that one needs to propel ahead towards a higher future. Self-improvement and motivation for success. Chapter 11. Aspects of human behavior to succeed. Motivation is the reason which instills people to embark upon certain behavior that is persuasive in nature. This persuasive nature tends to motivate people towards that particular task, goal or objective. Therefore, motivation is the force that drives an individual and propels them towards their objectives. In order to be motivated, one has to adapt to certain behavioral patterns that actually bring the mind to work dynamically. Therefore, it is a state of mind which is not related to one's personality but is rather adopted by a person who is intrinsically motivated. There are certain aspects of behaviors that tend to propel a person towards being motivated. These are arousal of behavior, direction of behavior, and persistence of behavior. 1. Arousal of behavior. This is the triggering factor that brings a change of mind. When a person is motivated, she tends to start thinking about the actions related to what motivated them. These actions arouse one's behavior, in which certain action plans are created in the mind of the person who is motivated. Therefore, arousal is also the activation of behavior. 2. Direction of behavior. Direction of behavior is the alignment of one's thoughts and action plans so that a sense of direction is formed. When a person's behaviors are directed, she tends to maintain their focus towards their target objective. Moreover, direction also maintains one's thoughts towards that particular action plan. Self-improvement and motivation for success. 3. Persistence of behavior. Persistence is an important element in motivation as it ensures continuity and concreteness regarding the action plans. It also maintains one's motivation and also continues the goal achievement of the person. Other than these behavioral aspects, motivation is also catered by some motives that are important. These can be psychological or physiological in nature, which fall under homeostatic motives, such as those important for living, e.g., thirst, hunger, etc., non-homeostatic motives, such as shelter-seeking habits, curiosity, etc., and social, learned motives, such as approval, appreciation, etc. Homeostatic elements are inborn and need not be nurtured as such. They are present as an inherent part of one's nature. Non-homeostatic elements tend to be affected by the surroundings and can arise due to general observation. However, social or learned motives are different in every individual, as people tend to behave differently, face variety of situations, and are shaped continuously by the people and the situation they face. That is why every individual's response to these motives is quite different, depending on their upbringing, experience and learning pattern. Therefore, every individual responds differently when motivated, which is exhibited via the behavioral aspects and the individual motives. The key point to note here is that no matter how you are conditioned, always respond positively so as to maximize your potential and harbor your motivation. Once you learn how to control these behavioral aspects, you can take charge of yourself and change sails according to the direction your life propels you in. This would make you move easily into the realms of success. Self-improvement and motivation for success. Chapter 12 – Why motivation is important for a successful life. Being successful is very important for everybody. It is the intrinsic need of human beings to gain recognition, dignity and success. However, in order to successful, one needs to be highly motivated. This is so because motivation gives one the inertia and the power to propel themselves towards success. However, motivation is important for success due to other reasons as well. Some of these are as follows. 1. Motivation serves as the basic start-up. Have you ever been forced to do some work that you don't like? How have you reacted to that work? Not that positively for sure. Now compare that work to some work that you like to perform. Do you realize the difference in your attitude when you compare both of these tasks? Which one was accomplished quickly with a better work quality? Of course, the task you like performing was performed way better. This is what motivation is. It serves as a start-up so that you can get ahead with the work. The most difficult aspect of any task is to get it started, and once things get started, there is no looking back. Therefore, motivation is a key factor in making you get started on your way to success. 2. Motivation makes you keep moving. When on the path of success, you are not always rewarded with success. One has to fall down many times before getting up and moving ahead. Obstacles, after all, are an integral part to make you stronger. It makes you worthy of your success. So, you have to be mentally prepared to face the tough work, the challenges and the problems in self-improvement and motivation for success. Order to move ahead. So, you need to keep yourself motivated in order to keep pushing and going ahead. 3. Do something extra. What is it that the successful do that we don't? We have always wondered about this and got no answer. It's what they do extra makes them successful. Even if you have started up, moved on and faced challenges, you still need to push it beyond what your normal capacity is. Only then would you yield the fruit of success. Doing the necessary would get the job done anyway, so how about doing that extra bit, so that the task itself would boast about who has done it? Think about it. 4. It's boring without motivation. Why do you take books to read or listen to music when going on a long journey? It is to make you feel fresh throughout the journey. Same is the case with motivation. The road to success is long, boring and tedious, but if you have motivation as your companion, then you need not worry about anything. Difficult times can be conveniently endured by motivation, as being motivated ensures that you not only do it the right way, but also enjoy yourself as you go ahead. So always feel motivated, keep your hopes high and look towards a brighter future. Self-improvement and motivation for success. Chapter 13 – Role of education in successful life. Education is one of the fundamental principles on which one's success depends. To understand the role of education and its impact on success, one has to first understand how they measure a successful life. A successful life can be denominated by a person's wealth, fame, career position, property, assets and most of all, their personality. While many argue that one needs to have luck for success and those who are born with wealth and assets are already successful, we do need to realize that being born with assets would not make us successful until we prove ourselves to be worthy of it. So regardless of the fact whether you are born rich or poor, you need to focus on how you can be successful and how you can maintain this position of yours. Now comes the question, why do people press on being educated in order to be successful? Well, it's quite simple. Education gives you the sense of direction, the knowledge, the skills and the focus which is needed in order to be successful. Of course, good rationale is also important, as many who have succeeded in their career paths have done so because they made good decisions. But our decisions eventually depend on our education and are in some way affected by our level of education and experience. An educated entrepreneur and an uneducated entrepreneur have different approaches, strategies and planning tendencies. Moreover, education makes you stand out amongst the others, gives you dignity and grace. The chances of having better paid jobs and even better careers are all dependent on your level of education. College dropouts such as Bill Gates, Microsoft, Michael Sell, Dell Computers and Steve Jobs of Apple are some of the exceptions who were either so intelligent or hard-working that lack of education didn't stop them to be successful. But following their path is not everybody's rule of game, as we have to face the reality rather than dream about exceptions. Despite not having a self-improvement and motivation for success college degree, these men were so hard-working and intelligent that they are today's billionaires. However, not everybody can follow the footsteps of these exceptional men, as we don't have the required intelligence or the luck in order to make it as big as them. So, what exactly do we do in order to make it as big? We can't just sit down and start dreaming. The best thing to do in these circumstances is to take charge and get educated. A master's or any professional degree is the key to success, as these degrees would not only land us in better paying jobs, but also make us worthy of it. Our personality and values would be shaped by the education we get, which would help us to deal with the numerous business and corporate situations that otherwise leave us confused. Moreover, our inner self would also be strengthened via education, as the values that our education would give us would also help us to portray ourselves in a much better way to the society. So always remember, the key to success is good education, as it transforms our knowledge, values and our approach towards the way to success. Self-improvement and motivation for success. Chapter 14 Social roles for a successful life. Having a great friend circle and socializing with people is a great way to propel your life ahead. It's not always that we come across people whom we get on well with. However, having an active social life is a great way to keep you boosted up. Spending time with people not only makes your moods uplifted, but it also enhances your emotional well-being, personality and manners. The key point to understand here is that one should not only make a lot of friends, but rather, be friends with those people who are open-minded and ambitious. Such positive people tend to have a lot of positive influence in your life. However, while making social connections, it is important that we realize some social habits that would be toxic for our social relations and should be best avoided. In this regard, some of the following tips should be implemented while socializing with open-minded social circle. 1. Talk about motivation and passion of others. A good social asset for all times is to talk about the social assets of others as much as you can. This would make you find out what inspires them and how they tend to be so intrinsically motivated. You can discuss their passions and ask them why they are so attracted towards them. As you get better at this skill, you will realize that at times, you can even discover somebody's hidden potentials that even they are unaware of. 2. Don't whine. Whining is a major push away. It's a highly negative sign, a red alert for those whom you socialize with. Moreover, it makes your social circle dislike you. So get away from this whining habit. Even though you might think that you don't really whine, self-improvement and motivation for success. People around you might be more sensitive about this issue. Just be more self-conscious in order to realize how much people around you suffer from your whining and how often you do it. Do understand that complaint and whining are two different things. You complain when you calmly elaborate about how something is unacceptable and how it should change. However, whining is a totally different scenario. 3. Don't boast. Boasting might gives us great happiness, boost the ego for a bit, but actually tends to be quite detrimental for our social life. However, nobody prefers to be in the company of a boaster, and it often leaves a bad impression on the people you socialize with. Only if you are a comedian and are boasting for fun, then it is surely to be taken in a light-hearted manner. However, you also need to have a distinction between honesty and boasting. If you are honestly telling others about your achievements, then there is no need for you to hide them. Rather, if you actually feel like telling others about something, then that is supposed to be boasting. So evaluate yourself on these parameters and try to judge yourself about where you go wrong while socializing with people. Correct yourself and use these tips so as to properly interact with people and move towards a positive personal change. Self-improvement and motivation for success.